Good afternoon, everybody, for joining in. We'll be starting in another, say, 2 to 5 minutes so that more participants can join in. Samiksha, can you please confirm if I'm audible? Thank you. I think it's a good time to start. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining this webinar session on Case Management Playbook 2.0, AI dashboards and end of chaos. Thank you for showing interest in this topic. So I am expecting like in terms of audiences, we might have some students also, some litigation lawyers might be there. There might be some corporate lawyers also joining this call. So keeping that in mind, we'll have a mixed kind of a session where I'll try to explain the basics part also and the rest of the other things like what is the interesting bits in terms of technologies that we have launched. So we'll start from basics and we'll move to increasingly to the other parts. Okay, so this is a kind of an annual session that we do in terms of where what we are doing in terms of different tools. Say we Manupatra primarily is known for its legal database that gets started in 2000. Today, it's the gold standard for legal database in India, be it search, be it AI, be it linking of the cases, be it giving the references of the right cases. But many times people tend to forget that we have other suites of tools also, which includes litigation management, compliance management, contract management. So these are also some of the offerings that are doing really, really good in the market in their particular segments. So the case in hand today is my case, which is the case management solution that was launched in 2016. The idea was that e-coach was still rolling out at that point in time, and the idea was that a request came from the market that you should have a tool like this, wherein we are able to maintain our digital library. So that was the concept, and it has grown leaps and bounds over the years with coming of COVID and more and more people working from different locations today. And so this becomes a very, very important tool for any legal counsel today or any litigation lawyers, because hearing is something that is in the lifeblood for lawyers. Hearing missed is a big catastrophe. So this particular software helps you deal with those kind of issues. So to set the context, the topic of this webinar is case management, AI dashboards, and end of the chaos. Now, what is the chaos in this particular legal industry? There's a lot of chaos. So I've been personally meeting lawyers from last 10 years, and oftentimes I go to their chamber and see there are a lot of documents, files that are stacked in one place, or there is a particular room where you can get that kind of a smell which is of old paper. If I'm sure if some lawyers are there who have practiced in the court, you would be familiar with that smell that going into a court registry and that smell hits you. And I've often walked into rooms where there has been fighting going on between the clerk and the lawyer. Like, where is this document? The client is urgently asking for it. Tomorrow is my hearing. I'm not able to find it. And there are papers everywhere. So in the past, what it was considered is kind of a status symbol, like where there was a lot of documents, there's a lot of work. I'm so busy. But today's day and age, it is more considered as a liability. It is a risk because in today's day and age where we are creating so many documents, there is so much data available. You can't have a system where anytime there is a document that is required and you are looking for like underneath the coffee mug, where is that file that I need right now? So that cannot be a process. And the other thing that adds to this chaos is like there are 10,000 courts across India. And these have different rules in terms of updating their cause list. Say a Bombay High Court might update a weekly cause list. There is a Calcutta High Court that updates a monthly cause list. There are many courts that do not upload the cause list till like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. in the evening. So what happens is if I'm a lawyer and have practice like in 2, 3 courts, in high courts, different high courts across India or some tribunals, my law clerks are visiting the court websites like at least 15 times a day, and these might be different portals. So Confunet has a different website, which sometimes is down a lot. So again, I'm opening multiple windows and everything is falling to that particular clerk's shoulder. And if that clerk is absent today because like the train got missed or there was some sickness in the family, now my all the system, all the processes that I designed till now has come to an halt because that person which I was dependent on so much is not there. So again, these are the some problem areas that a modern law firm today faces, and also for the corporates. Corporates, there is like if you are a Bank of Maharashtra, if you are an Indian Oil, if you are say BPCL, there are thousands of cases across India, and to manage them from a one particular location is a nightmare in terms of what is happening where you don't have an idea. You are dependent on the advocates, you are dependent on the law officers which might not even be aware of what is happening. So again, this is the problem at hand. There's so many documents and there are so many court cases that are everywhere. And this is where technology comes in to help you out. Okay. So how it helps you out is that it creates a kind of a this thing where I get a command center. So the center for us is the litigation management tool. So it is basically like a cockpit that you will see that is in front of the pilot whenever they are driving. So it gives you a basic idea on bird's eye view on what is happening. So how many cases are there, how many are pending, how many clients I have, what are the tasks, what are the compliance due for today, what is my calendar looking like. So all those details I'm able to see from here. So like if I go to the portal, just give you a quick idea on how this looks. Say this is what my dashboard will look like. So I can log in from here. So the idea is I have my own credentials. So I can log in from this using my username password. And there is also a mobile app, which I'll like explain in the later part of the webinar. This is how it will look in terms of logging in. So once I've logged in, it gives me a brief snapshot on what is there on my calendar today. What is the cause list looking like? How many matters are there today? In terms of court status, how many matters are pending? Internal status, I can see how many are pending, how many are disposed, how many are active matters, what are my tasks due for today, what is the time analysis component to it, so that also I'll be able to, so gives me just in a quick glance I'm able to see what is happening, what are the tasks due for today, what are my matters, what is happening tomorrow. So everything from here I'll be able to see, and I can create different user IDs for different like associates or partners where these people have their own independent accounts. Okay, now this is one. The second is that uh, the heart of this product, what it I can say is that it is connected to the court website. Now, what it means is that we have crawlers that are running through 10,000 court websites. Yes, Samiksha. Just give us a second. Again, sorry. So this is what the dashboard will look like in terms of how many matters are there. So this is giving me today's cause list. How many active matters are there? How many clients are there today? How many archived matters are there? What is the task that I have to perform today? My internal checklist. This calendar is also there where I am able to see date-wise, like what are the matters that are there. So again, gives me a bird eye view on what is happening in the firm, or also it can work for a corporate also, wherein I'll be able to see what are the matters that are listed in different courts today. Now, the heart of this particular tool is, say, something like a litigation management tool. So it's basically our crawlers that are running through 10,000 courts per day. So what is a crawler? It is like an intern. So think of itself as an intern that when you are sleeping, it will go to the court websites and see like if there is a cause list update for your matter, or if there is any order that gets updated. So it does not need any coffee. Directly, it will pick whatever is there in the court website for your particular case, and it will give you an update. Like, sir, this is the update for tomorrow. So if you wake up tomorrow morning, you will see like today, this is my cause list. I'll get a link, say there will be a link that will be sent to you on WhatsApp or something, where I'm able to see like this is the matters that are listed for today. So gives me a consolidated list on what my day is looking like, how many matters are there, what is the item number for each case. The link to the full cause list is also available. All my orders. So anytime there is an order that gets passed, also it sends it to me so that this is the order for today, and for today, tomorrow, this was the matter listed. This is the order. So again, I get the update directly from here. So again, this is what we say in our SaaS platform. This is the low hanging fruit. Why is it a low hanging fruit? Is because you don't need any kind of automation for this. Like you don't need to change your existing process. It's a very low effort wherein you are just putting in the case number in the system once, and then here on in it becomes automatic from here. So any update that is coming, it is coming directly to your system. So be it any court, say be it High Court, be it District Court, be it Supreme Court, all the tribunals across India, Confunet, Consumer Forum. So 99% of the tribunals which have an online presence are available here for you to track. So everything is getting managed from the same place. Okay. So again, this is something that helps you keep a track on your next hearing dates or a particular matter. So like a hearing date is like a lifeblood for any litigation lawyer, basically. So if you miss a hearing, it's not like you have missed on a Zoom call that you can go back to. So it is something of a critical importance. So it keeps you alert in terms of if something gets updated, like last night also, there also you get an alert from the system. Again, so for a corporate, what will happen is that it will also give me an idea on what are the matters that are listed for today through the cause list. And also say a corporate might have, say a bank like a federal bank might have 10,000 cases, or say a Muthoot Finance might have 6,000, 7,000 cases, or an ITC might have 2,000, 2,500 cases per day. Now, as a legal counsel for this particular company, I would want to see what is happening. Like, but currently, how it is being stored is that I have the Excel. So where Excel might have like these are the consumer matters, labor matters, this is the description of the case. So Excel is not a particular kind of a tool which is good enough for this kind of a system. So there it should be a live dynamic system where I can see everything in one place. Again, if I want to see in terms of like who is my counsel for this case, I can select the name of the counsel. What is the outcome? If like I can see how many cases were disposed, how many are in favor, what is the description for this matter, in which matter we are the petitioner, we are the respondents. Also, there are capabilities where I can add more columns. So for my department, suppose like there is an automobile company. So they want to see which model, against which model we are receiving maximum consumer complaints. So that is an insight for that particular council. Or he would want to see like which matters are of valuation of suit of 10 crore and more. So tomorrow, if my counsel is to appear somebody somewhere, so I would force him to go for this particular matter where like the chances are like 5 crore and more matters are there, where this particular value is there. So that rest of the matters we can automate, we can see that the lawyer is able to handle for themselves. But for the more risky matters, I should be able to generate a cause list, which is a weekly cause list or a monthly cause list at a click of a button. So that is what it gives the particular user in terms of what is the idea, in terms of the task list that they'll be able to do. The strategic trends in terms of what is happening, how many cases got filed in this quarter, how many new cases got listed. So all that detail is available to me that I can also generate in the form of reports from here. So there I'm able to generate all these kinds of reports from the same systems in terms of the next hearing dates and everything. I can also do what I can do is that I'll show you some of the templates where what we have done for like different banks or different PSUs where they had asked like you give us a particular kind of a template. Okay. So wherein this template would be there where they would want to see a specific kind of cases, like how many cases were there. So I'll just give you a bird's eye view that this is what is possible. So based on the individual requirements of the firms or of the organizations, we can create these kind of dashboards where I'm able to see how many cases are there, which department has how many cases. So I can see if the location is Mumbai, how many cases are there in Mumbai. So I can click, I'll be able to see that. In terms of status, how many are registered, how many are in high risk areas, how many are in low risk areas, what is the amount that is involved on this one. So it gives me a broad eye picture. It gives me the reports at the right time, very easily in the click of a button. It also gives me dashboards from here, where I'm able to see for each case, what is the dashboard looking like? What is the bird eye view in terms of trends looking like? So I can hire like more people in my team that is required. So that can also be done. So this is where this particular tools comes in, where I am able to generate reports. Now coming to the second part of this demonstration, which is now this is the command center part where you are able to handle everything. The second part is the second brain, where I want to have a unified system, say where it becomes a second brain for my organization. So what happens in law firms is like the big partners are there. They might get poached by some other law firm, which is a competing law firm, or there is some junior who gets migrated or who shifts to another location, or maybe he is pursuing his LLM. He also goes. Now, all the information that is there, that he has worked on, whatever documents that were stored in his laptop, that often goes with him. And even sometimes the firm has their own laptop or the organization has their own laptop. The document might be sitting in the download folder of that particular person. 3 years, 3 months down the line, the IT system swaps the entire data. Now that document, that agreement that he was working on, that is also gone. So how we can build an institutional memory so that the people leave the organization, but whatever work that they have done for the organization, so that stays in the organization. How do we make sure of that? So for that, what we do here in my case, what we provide is that there is a dashboard that will be available. So for each matter, say if I go to a particular case, now each matter will have their own kind of a dashboard. I'll just take another route, go to that matter. So if I click on this one, any matter here. So each matter will have their own dashboard where I'm able to see different documents. So the documents are like, these might be the judgments. So he might be researching on some certain subjects and he has stored whatever judgments that he found relevant for this case right here. So that documents are also getting stored up in the system. And I click onto this one, I'm able to see the drafts also. So whatever drafts are there, I'm able to see the previous drafts, whatever he has created. I'll be able to edit online. So I don't need to download anything directly by clicking here. It will open the only Office version where I'm able to like work on the cloud itself. And also it gives me an option to create different versions of the same file. Okay. Now this becomes very, very important because what we have seen is that many times what happens, there is version 1, where is version 2, there's version 12.9, 8.7. So again, and in case that somebody replaces the earlier version, the main version gets lost. So again, there are different versions because it is created by like thinking that this will be used by lawyers and what are the problems that lawyers face during their handling of the document. So again, the version history is also there. So all my documents for this particular case are stored in one place. There is versioning, there is history available in the same place. That always helps. So that is there. And also one of the problems like that I was initially discussing was like there was some agreement that you were working on. Say 3 years down the line in 2017, you created a land acquisition agreement for your client. And it was very thorough. It has bulletproof clauses. Everything was there. And suddenly in 2024, somebody from the similar industry approaches you to create a similar kind of an agreement. So the last particular clause, like the agreement took you, say, 50 hours or 60 hours to create. Now now the junior does not know that such kind of a agreement already exists. It might be in some land drive, it might be in the archive folders. So through this, what you will be able to do is you will be able to search for that document in one go. So all your documents are in one place, stored in Microsoft Azure with multiple backups. I'll be able to search through the file name as well as through the file text. So anytime I'm searching for something, I can look for that particular word, and wherever this is coming, like that word is coming, even I don't need to be sure like this is the exact keyword. So I can then again search for that particular keyword within that particular file. So it gives me that option where I can search within the documents and like in the file also and within the document. So here I'm searching for Nainital. It might not be in the main text of the file, nowhere it's written. In the inside, there might be that particular word that is written. So again, the discovery becomes easier and I'm able to retrieve that land acquisition document that we had worked on. So again, this is very, very important in terms of storing the documents, where these are getting stored. And in case somebody requires it in the future, they are able to see it from the one place. So this is in terms of creating a second brain, in terms of all your document repository in one place, that too in the cloud, whomsoever person needs them, they'll be able to access it from here. Say somebody new is joining the organization, they have this option of knowledge management. So where I can guide this person, like these are the standard current affairs that we have. These are the memos that we have created. These are the drafts that we have worked in the past. These are the judgments that we were a part of. So everything is available in a streamlined manner. It is not that you are just like pointing him, this is your desk and these are the documents. Now you sail or sink, it is up to you. So that is not the case. You are giving them a particular place where all the information is available in a synchronized way, and it helps the onboarding easier. It makes them feel comfortable in terms of what they are going to work like. what is the quality of the drafts that you expect from a particular lawyer. So all that kind of a thing becomes qualitatively available for that particular person to see. So again, creating a second brain, creating an intellectual property for the law firm, or creating that intellectual property even for the corporate, like what kind of documents that we have done in the past, everything is stored in the same place. So even though people are moving from one organization to another, the things are stored in the same system. So documents is there. Now, this is like handling the internals of the organization, like the chaos which is happening inside the organization due to churn within the manpower. There is another kind of a thing that happens, which is, I'll come to that, the second part later, which is the proactive alert, which is how do you handle, say, suppose I'm a big MNC. I have my office in BKG complex in Mumbai, or suppose in Gurgaon I have an office, head office. I'm a big legal counsel, general counsel. I have 20 people in my team that are working for me, and anything that comes up, I have the budgets available with me from the finance team. Everything is there, and I feel very secure in terms of what I'm doing. Uh, Suppose what happens is somebody in Patna or somebody in any tier 3 city is not happy with my product. Suppose I am a manufacturing company, I manufacture tractors, and he goes to that particular district court and he approaches the district court saying that I'm not happy with the tractor. I'm like issuing a case. I want to file a case against this company. Now, what will happen is that the court will send a notice that this particular litigation is there. Suppose that this particular notice does not end up in your corporate office at BKL, or it does not, this notice goes to a random place, say in a branch office somewhere. Now the notice is delivered, but the team there, suppose, is not aware. So they are mostly focused on their sales part. They are mostly focused on operations. They don't care for a piece of notice that came. So you are never informed. So the hearing happens in the Patna District Court, and the lawyer, the judge might call somebody like, "This is the name of the company. Is anybody present from there?" So there will be silence. Nobody is there. So again, they might come to you again. So mainly, maybe in the first time, he does not say ki there's no ex parte, but he gives the first hearing, next hearing. Suppose next hearing again nobody turns up. In the third hearing again nobody turns up. So at some point in time, he'll issue ex parte order that this company is not interested in this litigation. Hence, we are ruling in the favor of the petitioner. Again, so or it might say it might be a serious case. They might say issue a summon for your directors. Say there's a bailable warrant, so something like that. Or they might, even if it's a high court case, they might say ki freeze the accounts for that particular for this particular MNC. So now you are in your like in your office where you are in their chambers. There are 20-30 members, and you are not aware that anything like this can be happening in particular district court. So there, how technology can help you is that we'll be sending you an alert. So there is one feature where we put your keyword as, and we keep tracking that particular keyword through cause list, through registries, to see like if there is a new matter that is listed in the name of that particular company. So again, this is an insurance mechanism which will help you track if there is a new case that is coming up that is listed in your name. So again, even though you might not get that kind of notice because it get lost in that particular trail, but you will get an email from the system that yes, there is a notice, and say for this particular case, I've gotten an email alert. It is triggering an alert in my dashboard that this is a new case. So again, somebody has to take an action. So maybe you hire a counsel in Patna District Court at an urgency. He appears for this matter, and the name of the brand is preserved, and also the reputation is preserved. Your directors are saved. So all that can be handled by just putting up a keyword and system tracking it for you. So like this, you will be getting email alerts from the system. Say, this is my keyword. This is the date of the filing. And on the same day or the next day, you have received an email alert that this matter is there in the Punjab High Court. So like that, you will be able to track across different forums like consumer forums, district courts, high courts. So it becomes a risk mitigating tool also in a way where I'm able to save a lot of risk to my stakeholders, to my company by just tracking or by using the technology at the right time. So this is another interesting thing in terms of the proactive alerts that is there. Uh, So again, so this is one thing. Let's go to the next part. Let's come to this again. Seamless collaboration is also there. Let's come to the automation or the grunt part. So this is also something that becomes very, very helpful for any kind of a company. So I, as an organization, is so this is the AI part of the tool. So again, this is something that many people might have been waiting for, wherein I want to say, I'll just use 2 seconds to log into my system again. So this is which is getting us some of the most queries that we get for any of the tools that we have. Say that is that how are you using AI? Where is the AI in this? So and of course that is a very valid question because a lot of AI has been launched in the recent past and it has been doing fairly good in terms of how AI can help in terms of summarizing document in terms of other things. There are many tools that are available today and that can be used by the lawyers and are being used by the lawyers, which might be Geminis, which might be the Chat GPTs. Claude's is making a lot of news these days. So Manupatra has their own UI, which we launched in last year, 2025, and that has been getting a phenomenal kind of a feedback from the market. So the specific use case that we are trying to do from our system, from my cases, from our this AI system, which we have named ManuWorks, is that it'll help you in terms of generating uh, it'll help you in terms of generating summaries and also like ask questions from that particular tool. But the basic difference between ours and the what is available in the market is that our system is trained in Indian legal database. So that is Manupatra, that is again the gold standard for in terms of data that is there. So many times that you will search in these search engines like ChatGPT or Claude, they will present to you the data, but that data will be say from a Reddit post, from American Law Library. So that might not be very helpful for you as a legal professional that is working in India. The jargon does not meet. There might be LLMs might hallucinate sometimes because there is so much language that is available. So here is where the AI that is trained in Indian legal database might come in handy, where it's able to do things that are relevant for you in terms of handling the different things. So some of the things that are available in the tool are that you can generate summary. So if there is a 400 page, like if not 400 page, there might be a 100-page judgment that is there, and you don't want to go through the entire thing. You don't, you wish to, but you don't have the time, suppose. So what it will do is that it will generate a quick summary of what happened. So here the summary is also not like a basic summary. It gives you like a 1 2 paragraph. It is broken down into parts like is there a compliance coming from it? What are the facts that were discussed? So in quick, like 2 or 3 lines, you will be able to see what was the exact thing that was discussed in this particular order. So I can read the order as well so that the highlight to the main order is always available. So that can be done. And also you will be able to generate this kind of a overview from here. So this kind of a summary is available. I can generate chronology also. So how chronology will work is that for a particular case, if there are 2 or 3 hearings, I want to create like a kind of a summary from here. So on that date, say I want to see a quick thing like what happened on which matter. Say I want to see if there was a continuation of delay that I can see from here, from this one, or on which date what happened. So I want to present this as an information to my senior. So I have read everything, but my senior does not have the time to read through the entire order by order, clicking the order, reading the thing. So it gives me an event-wise description on a particular topic. So that can also help. There is also an option for asking the AI where I can ask certain questions from the AI. So in terms of, say, I can ask, um, was there a condolation of delay filed and how many days were there for that condolation of delay? So that is something that you will be able to see from here. So by selecting the orders, so if I want to see, say, if there was, so we have a lot of demos with banks. So they would want to find out like how many adjournments happened on a particular case, how many times there was ex parte order issued against a particular council of ours. So that kind of a thing you will be able to do from here, because you can select the orders, and based on that you can ask any kind of question like compliance related. So even though that you don't have to read the entire thing, you will be able to select and make ask right questions from here. So that is also in terms of the AI part that you will be able to do. You will be able to generate summaries, you will be able to generate chronologies, you will be able to ask orders also from here. And also what we have introduced is that you can also add documents from here. So not only you can generate chronology or timeline for the regular orders that are uploaded, you can also upload documents on your own, and you can generate a summary of that as well, which is pertaining to this case. I want to just upload it from the system and I want to generate a summary that can be done. Or suppose that I am dealing with a land deal case, and there are many documents in that. I want to just get a hang of like when the matter got filed, what was the date of the purchase of the land, all that document. Otherwise, it for my junior it will take 3 days to read through the entire thing, to just generate a timeline on what date what happened so that I can read. I can directly use the AI options to generate a summary or generate a chronology date wise what happened on which date. So like that, I can break it down in terms of orders. I can break it down in terms of this one. And another thing that we can do here is that the translation is also available from here. So translation, how it helps, especially in Indian legal database, translation and OCR are two very important tools. Now, why they are very important? Because many times there is still like the old papers might be typed, there might be it's written in typewriter, or it's a very old paper. There's a lot of in languages there are handwritten notes. So this is an order that was passed by the in somewhere in Pune District Court. And now I can see from here that this is the order, and they have just handwritten the order and uploaded it on the website. So somebody, if I'm from say north part of the country, I'm sitting in Delhi, I want to read this order. Now this is in Marathi, that too handwritten. It becomes very difficult for me to see what is being said in this particular order. So what I can do is I can upload it here, and it gives me an AI generated translation. Similarly, I can upload the file. Suppose I've received a notice from somewhere, and again this is like the picture is not correct, or there might be some typo in terms of when you are clicking something, it did not get correctly updated. I'll be able to generate that OCR also from here. So it is saving me a lot of manual effort. So I was speaking to somebody, say they were from the PSU, so they were in South Delhi somewhere. So he was saying that anytime we received any kind of notice or any kind this kind of a thing, we have to go to Tisazari. So that is like for people who are joining outside Delhi. So for a South Delhi person who has to travel to Tisazari, it will take 1.5 hours for him to reach. There he'll have to find a translator, and he'll convert this, and he'll ask to charge them like for a word to word something. So based on that, that will be charged. So again, this entire loop in terms of going to that person, finding that person, then asking him to do this job, that gets settled out. So this is where the AI tools can help in terms of having. So again, with that, I would also, before you go on like not hiring anybody, or say you don't want the junior advocates in your office, that is not the case, because this is more of an assistant. So where I can use it as creating a summary, there will always be, currently it's not on complete autopilot, even in the there will be some manual intervention required where you might need to see if something is correct. So some kind of overview is required, and some kind of strategic thinking from the lawyer or the legal professional is always required. So that is, nobody can take away that. And that is the kind of thing that you would always want to do. So for the law school, wherever you went, so that is the kind of thing that you studied for. You did not study for like typing the whatever notice came to you, and you want to you have to now type it through an OCR, or you want to create everything is available. You want to write a 3 line, 4 line summary or matter description for each matter. So that is just office work which nobody like to does. So that is what it is automating. The legal thinking, the strategic thinking, that is still in your hand. Okay, so now this is certain things that where AI is helping in terms of translation, in terms of generating summaries, generating chronologies. So where this might help. So again, this is one thing that you can do in terms of translation. I can ask, I can upload a document. I can ask questions from that document also. I can chat real time like I'm talking to a person. So that can be done. So this is where the AI translation is helping. So any queries that are there. So currently there might be certain things that might not be very clear. If you have certain queries, you just put it in the chat box. I'll help you out in terms of finding those. Okay. So this we have slightly discussed in terms of data decision. So I'll be able to think. So not a lot has to be there in terms of what I think. Okay, I think that this should happen. So in today's day and age, because the data is available, all you need is a tool that gives you the right dashboard, right dashboards, give you the right information that you are able to pull it from the system and you are able to see how many, which all cases we are the petitioners, how many cases got disposed in the last quarter, how many new cases got filed. So these are basic queries that can be done from the system without using too much resources or on a click of a button. That is there. So again, this is another part that I would like to highlight. So this is more from a corporate and both from a law firm. So many times there is a trust deficit that starts happening between the lawyer and the client of the law firm. So where they don't trust that the lawyer is actually doing the work that they have hired him to do. So that happens a lot. And to in the defense of the lawyers, many times the lawyers they don't also update because they are going to the court. They have multiple things. They are preparing the work. They are reading the judgment. There is already so much things that on their plate that they don't have the time to update the client. Like this is what happened every week or every second day. They don't call. They can't call and update the client on a particular issue. So this is where a client portal or for a corporate, it can be a council portal comes in. So where the council will have their own portal for whatever cases that they are handling for that organization. So any document is to be shared. So they can just quickly upload it from the system. So if I go to my case system, I can log in from one of the council IDs or the client IDs. I'll only see the cases that I am representing for the organization or whatever. In the case of the client, whatever client has given me these cases, this is from the same client. This is what it will be looking like with minor differentiations. I'll be able to see whatever communications I have made in the past with that particular thing. So anything I need to share, I'm sharing it with my team anyways. I can directly share it here. So the communication becomes much more easier. Document upload also becomes much more easier. So I can also share my documents directly from my case to here. So I can just click on a share button, share with the client. It will go to this portal that is available. So and along with the date when this was shared. So there is not that issue is not happening that, hey, I've sent you this particular document 15 days back on your WhatsApp. You might have seen it. So that kind of a thing will not happen. Everything is available here, and this becomes a source of truth for everybody in the system that everything that was shared was actually shared on that date. So it brings more transparency in the system. You will also be able to send alerts to these clients through the same system, whether for the next hearing only that you want or for the orders with your branding as well. So again, that helps in terms of trust. It helps in terms of getting them onboarded in the system. So that can also be done. So this is where the cloud thing is available, where I can store all these kind of files. I can even show if I'm working on some notices for them, so I can share the notices as well. Helps a lot in terms of maintaining the communication directly from here. Okay, so this is in terms of handling the collaboration, automating the grunt flow, timeline, summarizer that we have discussed, how translation can help. Also, this is, I have not gone into detail for Drafter. So Drafter is something that also we are planning to launch in my case. It's at like a beta stage, but it is going to be a very powerful drafter wherein you can put in your drafts and it will give you queries. We are also trying to do some advanced things in terms of linking judgment. So that is also in the pipeline. So this is going to be another webinar in the future where how a tool like this can help you draft better. So stay tuned for that. Again, the last part for this demo would be like the freedom that is coming from accessing it from anywhere. So whether it's mobile, whether it's web, so all you need is a good internet connection and you will be able to, or Wi-Fi connection, whatever. So you will be able to click from the system. Suppose I was speaking to a client of mine. She's saying that I wanted to take the dates and I was not carrying my physical diary. So I was standing in front of the judge. I just took out my case and I clicked like which dates I have available and I straightforwardly I told, and that is where I was able to get another date for this matter. So this helped a lot. So that can be done even for the order. So many times you are not querying the order file when you are meeting the client. So suppose he asks you a certain question regarding the last order, you are not embarrassed. You can directly, or you have to reach out to somebody in your office to ask them, send me that order copy. So directly it will be available on your phone, and you can just you can just scroll down and you will be able to see the order, maybe share the order with the client on the WhatsApp from the same system. So again, the app for this particular industries becomes very, very important. So that is also getting covered. And the last and the most important bit for this webinar, not the most, but still very, very important for say many lawyers. So this is we are dealing with legal data, and you would want to ensure that everything that we are storing in the system is protected. So many big organizations that are the like the top organizations in our country in terms of PSUs or in terms of security guidelines that follow, they are using this tool to manage their existing cases. So everything is 256-bit encrypted. Everything is stored in Microsoft Azure file. There are three backups that are taken for each document that gets uploaded. There is a VAPT certification that we do every other year. So basically, that happens is some third vendor comes to the organization, comes to the servers, they verify everything, they test everything, they see whether the security concerns are being met. We have ISO certificates. So in terms of security, we are very, very safe. And in terms of we are doing regular testing with multiple players so that even if something is to happen, that is not to happen. So everything is taken care of in terms of security and certifications from the same. Okay, so this is where I would like to end this particular session on my case, how a platform like this would help you immensely in handling the chaos that you find yourself in the legal industry, managing your litigations currently. This is our email ID. Before that, I would just like to ask if anybody has any questions. I should have asked this previously. You can just drop them in the chat window so that I can pick it up from there. You can see a lot of people are still here. So if any queries are there, anything that you would want to ask, I'm just putting one email also, which is of contact@manupatra.com. And this is the website, this is our email ID. And where I can see all the information that is to be there. So any questions, I'll be answering these. Some queries are already there in the chat. But after this, if anything is there, you can just put an email here. So I'll just pick certain questions. Is summarizing LLMs as such. So, yes, sir, in a way, so summarization is powered by AI, and the AI that we are using for this is LLM, but it is not powered by some other, say, we are not using ChatGPT or anything. It has been developed by Manupatra. And it's a hallucination for our cases getting concerned because we are taking care of, we have trained it in Indian legal database. There's regular testing that we do. And for something like if you are searching in a document, say we call it RAG. So basically it searches in that particular document only. So if you are creating summaries of 4 orders, so it is not able to, it will not search anywhere else. Only those 4, 5 orders. So that is how it will give you that particular information only. Okay. Will this tool search my history or summarization? Yes. So in this, we have a section of history also, wherein any like history that you have performed, any document summary that you have performed, any translation that you have done, so that gets saved in a search history that you will be able to click and you will be able to see. Another question is how much storage is provided. So for storage, we have provide 1 TB of 1 TB of space on Microsoft Azure. That is 1000 GB. That is sufficient for most companies and law firms as well. Yes, TP-DPA is compliant. That is true for all the products of Manupatra. So that we have taken care of because being in the legal industry and also we have to deal with various IT organizations. So that is taken care. Um, so So basically where the case information is stored. So case information is stored in our servers. So when we say our servers, that is Microsoft Azure. The servers are located in central India where all the information is getting stored. So anything, so all like whenever you are doing a search, whenever a case is getting tracked, so we keep that information in our servers. So the idea is also like tomorrow if the court website is not functioning properly, or maybe like Confonet or Consumer Forum website is sometime down. You're not able to see the orders. So here it'll help you to see the orders as well. Yes, so we do provide in multiple access also. So like from a single ID, from at least the web version, you will multiple people will be able to log in. Um, Yes, the billing section I would also is also there. I would explore it. Like for that, we can have another this thing. Basically, you can track all your expenses. So whether it's the billing for a particular client, how many bills were raised, you will be able to see, or even expenses part. Say my internal associates are going to the court, and there is a court fees that they are paying, or they are paying for the Uber. So they can put all that information through the mobile app itself while coming from the court or from the court itself. And the system will be able to track that. You can generate reports like how much we owe to a particular internal associate, or how much invoice is pending for a particular client. So all that information can be managed from the system. We also have some very good templates that you can use for invoicing. Uh, so basically, does the tool covers all courts globally? So currently, we are covering for Indian jurisdiction only. That is 10,000 courts that are covered in India. For the international courts, we do have some clients, but what they are doing currently is that there is a provision that you can do it manually. So you can put in the next hearing date manually also from the system. So anytime there is a next hearing date, the system might not be able to pick it up directly. You might need to put it manually by yourself. But once you have updated it, you will get the email alerts. It will show up in your calendar. So again, it becomes manageable. So one single entry in terms of the next hearing would be required for international courts. Um, Yes, so if you are using any other vendor, we'll be able to migrate your cases directly. You can give us like say an Excel or whatever, whichever way that you would want to share, but we can do it with any of the competitors that you're using in terms of the litigation tracker. So we'll be able to transfer your cases to our system. Right. I think most queries have been resolved. Again, so let me just put this again. So this is very important. So anytime you need a detailed demo of this session, or you want a trial or something, anything in the domain of my case, or even if you want to discuss something like in terms of AI, what will be there. So you just write to us at contact@manupatra. Somebody has asked for the pricing also, but the pricing generally is dependent on what kind of a thing is required by you. So, which module would be required? How many cases would be there? So, there are certain parameters to that. For that, we can have a one-on-one meeting. Based on that, we'll be able to give you the pricing. Right. So, I think it's already, we were hoping that it would be finished. Okay, some else basic estimate. So again, so this basic module is again sir dependent on the parameters that are required by you. So again sir, I would request if you can just drop us a mail with your details in terms of phone number, so somebody from my office will connect with you, and they'll contact in terms of the pricing. Got it. Right. Okay, thank you everybody for sticking by. I'll just note your email ID, the pricing part. um right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Please do reach out to us at contact@manupatra. for any questions. Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure